Hi, this is Joel Persinger, the Gun Guy. Thanks for watching my videos. I really appreciate it. I'm out here on the P2K Range in El Cajon, California again, and this time I'm on the training range outside. It's raining, but hey, you know what? I don't melt, and I'm a duck hunter, so I'm kind of used to being wet anyway. And I thought I would show you another gun that I carry regularly. It's a question I get a lot from subscribers and folks that watch my videos, and maybe from you, I don't know. But I want to answer the question of, what do you carry, Joel? I did a previous video on the gun I carry the most, which is my Taurus Model 85, little .38 special revolver. The gun I carry the next most, if you want to call it that, would be my Springfield XD-40 SubCompact, and that's this gun right here. So I've already unloaded it. I'll take the magazine out for you. You can see that that's unloaded. We'll set that aside for just a minute here, maybe in my back pocket. And then the chamber is also empty, so we'll check that, check our chamber. Stick my finger in the mag well. Yep, okay, this gun is empty and it's safe. This is my Springfield XD SubCompact 40. It's in 40 because I have a full-size Springfield XD that I bought for work, and it also is in 40 Smith & Wesson. So I thought I'd buy the SubCompact in the same caliber. That way I can use the same mags. Now this gun is smaller, obviously, than the full-size. That's why they call it the SubCompact. It's got a shorter grip, shorter barrel, and a little bit lighter. A little bit easier to carry. Now there is a version of the XD that has a single stack magazine. This one has a double stack magazine, so the grip's a little wider, and actually I kind of like that. I'm a big guy and I've got big hands, so I like having the wider grip. The magazine that you carry with it, if you're going to carry it around, is a little diminutive magazine. It's been shortened a bit, and so there's only 9 rounds in it. But nevertheless, this gun gives me some more ammunition on board than the little .38 does. .38 carries 5. This will have 10, 1 in the chamber, 9 in the magazine, and that gives me a total of 10 here. Plus I've got an extra magazine with me. So if I'm going someplace that I think, rather than just my day-to-day, going to work, going to the office, running around that I do all the time, that's when I've got my, my little snubby .38. But if I'm going someplace where I feel that there might be a real reason to have a firearm, I'm going to a public event where I'm working in a protective detail, or I'm managing a protective detail, or I'm managing a security effort somewhere, I'm probably going to carry this gun with an extra magazine because there's a greater chance that I'm going to actually have to use it in that circumstance. And so I'll select the gun I'm carrying based upon where I'm going and what I'm doing. Now it also depends on the way I'm going to conceal it. Obviously the snubby can go in my pocket, it can be concealed in a lot of places. This is a little more difficult to conceal. It's a little bigger, a little more angular, so it tends to want to print more than the bumpy, lumpy revolver, which blends in with things. So I have to be a little bit more selective about the clothing that I wear if I'm going to carry this particular gun. There's a few things I like about the XD personally, and again, this is my personal preference, not for everybody. I've spent 30 some odd years carrying a 1911, and so I'm very, very comfortable with and pretty much imprinted on the grip angle of a 1911 style pistol, and I love them. They're just expensive and they're heavy, so I don't want to carry mine because if I ever have to use it to defend myself, I know I'm going to have to give it to the police officer afterwards. It's going to be booked into evidence and I may never see it again, even if everything I do is right. And so I'd rather give them an inexpensive gun that I know that I can get back rather than a $1,000 pistol. But nevertheless, I like the angle on the XD because the angle on the XDs is very similar to the grip angle on a 1911. Glocks, on the other hand, the grip angle is a little different. So when they just don't point naturally for me because I'm used to this grip angle. So I tend to point a little higher with a Glock, and then I have to adjust to get where I can shoot it and hit what I'm shooting at. Now I have a really good friend who carries nothing but Glocks, and they point beautifully for him because that's what he's been trained with. I prefer the XDs simply because I like the grip angle. I'm also a 1911 guy. I'm really accustomed to the grip safety, and so I prefer that. I like that extra safety feature. So for me, I like having the grip safety there. I realize there's a lot of arguments for and against it. I get it. But again, it's personal preference. For me, I like the grip safety. I also like this indicator on the back. I like the fact that I can see that the striker is cocked because I can see it, and if it's dark, I can feel it. I like the fact that it has a loaded chamber indicator here, that when there's a round in the chamber, it rises up. So even in the dark, I can run my finger over the top of that and I can tell that there's a round chambered in the gun. I can tell that the gun is cocked, and I know it's loaded up and it's ready to go. I like that aspect of this particular pistol. Not only can I see it, but even in the dark, I can feel it and know whether I've got a round chambered or whether the striker on the pistol is cocked. So I like that. I also like the fact that the ambidextrous safety is on it. There's a safety on, or not ambidextrous safety, excuse me, ambidextrous mag release. There's a mag release here, and on the other side of the pistol, there's a mag release here. As I mentioned before, my son is left-handed. So if we go shooting together, it makes it a lot easier for him because the gun is already set up to be ambidextrous. The other pistols I have don't do that. Many of them we have, you know, the Glocks and so on, or that the Smith & Wesson M&Ps and so on. You can swap the mag release around if you want to, but they don't necessarily come with a mag release on both sides, and the Springfield XD does. And I like that about the pistol too. Other than that, I just like the fact that they shoot really well and they're comfortable to shoot. Now, when I bought this gun, and this is the XD, not the XDM. The XDM is the upgraded version. And unfortunately, in California, they're not on the approved roster of guns you can buy in California from a dealer, so I don't have one. I can get one shipped to me and do a video on it, but I got to send it back. But I can't buy one in California, so I have the XDs. Fortunately for me, I'm a big guy. They fit me perfect. I don't need the interchangeable back straps. I don't have any issues like that. But when I bought this gun, it came with two magazines. It came with this short one, which is great for carrying the pistol because it makes the pistol smaller. The grip is a little shorter, so it's not poking me in the ribs or poking me in the back when I sit in chairs. But it also came with a bigger magazine, which is a standard size magazine, which is this one. And with the magazine, it came with this little extended piece of a grip. So when this goes in here, you'll see that it gives me the full size grip. So if I want to shoot it that way, I can. I don't carry it that way, but I carry a magazine with this extended grip on it here. That way it gives me that extra control of the gun once it's reloaded. I have a place for my pinky to go, which just gives me a little bit more control on it, and that's kind of nice. Now, a couple things about that. First of all, I did find out rather quickly that when you're loading that in there and you're in a hurry and you're practicing and you're doing some running and gunning with this gun, this thing will tend to pinch your palm, and I've done it to the point where it was bleeding. And so I've now gotten in the habit, I've shot the gun enough that I just release my pinky a little bit and release that as I change mags, and I just do it automatically now, and I don't pinch myself anymore. But one of the nice things about it too is I can take that off, or I can just use any XD-40 mag, and when it goes in there, it won't have this extended grip, but the mag still sticks out far enough that I can use that as a place to put my pinky, and it still gives me some extra control in the pistol. So that's pretty cool too. And you're going to find that most of these subcompacts, whether it's an XD or a Glock or whatever brand, that the magazines, when you can put the larger magazine inside them, you still have that same thing. You can get it with your pinky, and that makes it a little nicer for you. So in general, this is a gun I really, really like. I don't carry it quite as much as I do the revolver for the reasons I stated, but when I'm going to carry a gun and I know I'm going to be in a little bit more, there's a greater possibility I might actually need it, then I'll tend to carry this one, unless I'm in a suit and tie or something like that, and then I'll carry another gun, which I'll show you in another video. But right now, I think it's a good idea to walk out on this wet range, and I'm going to get rained on for you, but that's okay. We'll get out here and shoot this thing a little bit for you so you can see how it runs. And I will shoot it with the small magazine, and I'll also shoot it with the large one for you, and then we'll come back and talk about it briefly. Let's just get it out here and poke some holes in the target. Here we go. So that's with the little bitty mag, but the bigger one makes it a little bit more comfortable to shoot. So let's stick the big one in there and let's shoot that a little bit. With the extra little grip on here, it gives me a little bit of control. You can see that my groups are pretty good with the small magazine in it, but it's just really nice when you're trying to do finer shots to have the big magazine in it. So let's shoot it that way and see what happens. Now I've got the bigger magazine in with a little bit of extra control for my pinky, and let's try that, and that, or maybe, whoop, I pulled that one a little bit. Let's try the top can on the two cans here. Oh, well, that's what happens when you're shooting a 40. It wiped them both out. I hit the top one, but it still took it out. How about the 2 liter? Yeah, wow, that's a mess. And a few more into the body, one into the head, one into the head, one into the head. All right, well, we can't let that can that jumped out of there get away, so we put that thing back up there because, you know, you just can't let them escape. So Hopefully we just need one round here, and oh, that's the way it's supposed to work. And there you have it, the Springfield XD SubCompact 40. Now, these pistols come in other calibers besides 40 Smith & Wesson. As I may have mentioned earlier, the reason I bought this gun in 40 is because my full-size XD is also in 40, and I wanted the commonality of magazines, so I could use the same magazines from my full-size pistol in this smaller pistol. Even though they stick out a little bit, I just use them and they give me some pinky place to put my little finger or whatever. And then if I wanted to, I could go buy more of those extended grip pieces to put on those magazines and shoot them that way. I just never have. But they're certainly available to do that. Great pistol, super reliable. I have put probably 3,000 rounds through this one since I bought it, just in training and practice and so on. And it's never given me any issues at all. It has never failed to feed. It has always run. They are extremely reliable. They'll take a beating, as you know what they used to say about the old Timex watches, it'll take a licking and keep on ticking, and these things are like that. So if you're looking at XDs, I can highly recommend them, and this particular one I can highly recommend is the Springfield XD SubCompact because I've carried it for quite some time. Now, some things I'm going to do with this pistol you might consider with yours is I am going to swap the sights out and put some tritium night sights on it because I like those, and I've had those on my 1911 for a long time. Some people like them, some people don't. I might put a laser on it at some point or other, but I doubt it. I'm not a big laser guy. Although, as my vision starts to, deteriorate a little bit, maybe that's going to be more important for me. But anyway, there you are. Great pistol. This is one of the guns I carry, and of this is one of the ones I carry the most, along with the little revolver that I showed you in the previous video. Thank you very much for watching my videos. I really, really do appreciate it. We're growing and growing like crazy, and I'm really grateful. So we can do more videos for you. We can buy some more equipment, and we can do those kind of things. It really helps if you subscribe. So I hope that you do. You can subscribe on the button wherever it is. It's either on that side or that side most of the time. If you would, please subscribe. Share us on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Tumblr, and those various different places. That helps us a lot too. Likewise, if you would also just come on out and see us sometime. We're at the P2K Range. This is where I teach, and I'm here a lot. So if you happen to be in San Diego, California, come on out to East County, to El Cajon. Come on by the P2K Range. It is a fabulous place to shoot. I believe it's the largest indoor shooting range on the West Coast. There's a 100-yard indoor rifle range here, pistol range here, shotgun range here. My son really loves that, and I've done some videos from the shotgun range. And of course, there's the training range that law enforcement and security companies use, which is where I am now. If you happen to be out here, look for me. If you see me, say hi. Maybe we can shoot together. And if you haven't already joined the National Rifle Association and you like watching gun videos and you're not a member, you need to be. I'm going to make it real easy for you by putting a link right here on the video for you to do that. If you can't see that link because you're on your phone or some other device, just go down to the description and you can join the NRA there. It'll save you a little bit of money, and you can join the NRA for a year for less than it costs for a box of ammunition. And that will add your voice to the other millions of folks that have spoken up for their Second Amendment rights by joining the NRA too. Thank you again for watching. Have a great week and be safe.